So let's just take 2 minutes and just kind of gives us a chance to take some deep breaths. We're just going to do 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just go ahead and do them at your pace. Okay, let's just let those shoulders roll back. So you kind of like lift them all the way up and roll them back. Just to give yourself a little kind of loosening up. Okie dokie. And then let's just roll them forward. Okay. Then lastly, if you want to, just use that head rotation, if you will. So you're going to rotate to the left side, back, over to the right side, down, put your chin on your chest, and then just do that one more time. And then switch directions. Do it the other way. Oh, yes, there's a lot of cracking. And then let's just take 2 seconds and just focus on something for which we are grateful. Whatever that may be for you. Okay. So last week, I did a class focused on a summer beach scene. That was what was in my head. So I stole from Haunani's framework and used your major tangles and your filler tangles, right? She talked about the biggies and then the things you use to fill in. So just so we are reminded, how do I want to do this? So I'm going to show you real quick. I was just trying to think through. Okay. Let me just share my screen here. Okay. Share. Come on. Thank you. Okay. These are basically the 3 tangles that are the biggies, if you will. Okay. One was Enishu, one was spilus, and one was fluish.
Ooh.
Okay. They look real complicated, don't they? I heard you go, ooh, Anne. Nope, they're not hard. I promise. They're not. They're really not. I'm going to start with spilus and I'll run through the steps, okay?
Right.
Right, is that fair?
Yep.
Maybe. If fair or not, that's what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fair or not, I get to say, oh, come on, piece of paper. Jeez. Spilus. Well, that pen's no good. Ain't no juice in that pen. All right, let's try it again. There we go. Spilus. So spilus, as you can see from the step out, starts with a little curvy, right? And you end with the little dot. Right? Everybody good?
Mm-hmm.
And remember when we did this the first time, I suggested you stop up here and I didn't do it. I stopped down here. Doesn't matter. So now you're going to go ahead and you're going to put a line right here, and then you're going to pretend you're coming out from the bottom. So in essence, you just did a line through your little curvy thing. And then you're going to aura that line twice. I know for some of you, this is a repeat because you got this last week, but I'm going to go for it anyway. So now I'm going to come out from here, okay, right out from this line. I'm going to come all the way down around. And then I'm going to come out here from the bottom so that I make a little tail. And then I come back up. Here they are. And you can see I did lots of spirals and they're all different. Or I can show you, oh, here's what we might learn next week. That will be interesting, huh? We'll see. Don't promise, Peggy. Spilus. All different. Okay, so there's no like rule that it has to be a certain width or a certain shape, or do what feels good to you. And then you're going to put in some line weight. So this is where you can make up for the fact that you may not have done your line exactly the way you wanted it. And you're going to do some more right down here. Okay. And that's spilus. Okay. Take some scrap paper, play with it if you haven't. And we're going to learn how you geez, why can't I? My brain just went. Okay, I took a friend to the hospital this morning and they had to be there at 5:30 a.m. So if I sound a little really weird to you all, it's because my brain just kind of is still in bed. I will show you how to shade and highlight this when we get there. Okay. Whoop, I don't want to start with this one. I want to go to this one. Now, Enishu looks like it's real sophisticated and difficult, and yeah, it's a lie. It's a fake off. So basically, you start with a sheet with a C. See what I mean? She, a C, right? Upside down. And then you're going to curve on the edges and you're just going to aura it. That's all. You just take a C and you aura it with a little curve on each end. Make sense?
Yeah.
And then you just bring a line down. You curve it any way that makes you happy. When you get a curve that makes you go, ah, I like that. That's all you need. And then you're going to aura that curvy line. And the only difference is you're going to tether it at the bottom. And then you're going to keep doing that until you think you have enough. So when I have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, right? Okay, that's weird. Someone's at the doorbell, Nance. When you have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines, you've got 3 sections, right?
Mm-hmm.
Make sense? So if I keep going, if I do another line, then I have more sections. So that'll kind of make sense, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but now I need to do another group of those. So I'm just going to take, this is what I usually do. I come over here and then I go like that. And then I do another set of lines, same exact way. Now you're going to see as I keep going, right? It's like, well, I don't have any more room to go off on my C, so I mean, it doesn't matter. You got one more you can do over here on the end if you want. Or you just come from here and pretend it's underneath. Doesn't matter. So I'm going to stop with just my 4 lines and my 3 sections. Okay. Now I'm going to come down this way and I'm going to go behind both of these and do another cute little one over here. This is very much a when the spirit moves you kind of tangle, which is probably part of why I like it, because it doesn't matter. Because it looks cool no matter how many I pick, right?
Right.
Who cares? So I think I'm going to stay with my 4 lines on this one too. And that is it. Now I do Ennahshu from the top down. Some people can do Ennahshu from the bottom up. However, you are better at doing your curvy lines. There's no up or down police. I always do Ennahshu coming down because that's the kind of the way my hand feels the joy of the curve. Is the best way I can explain it. Everybody okay?
Mm-hmm.
Questions, problems? Cool beans. Last one.
Oh,
You all right, Susan?
yes, it's very nice.
Okay, good. This is fluish. And fluish looks impressive, but it is so bloody simple. So all you're going to do is you curl around and come down. Now you can curl around and come down at this angle. You can make your curl around big. You can make your curl around tiny. Whatever moves you. Okay. And whatever you've chosen, you're going to start at the top and you're going to make a little, I don't know what to call this. I didn't know what to call it last week. I still don't know what the hell to call it. A petal. How's that? And you're just going to move across a little more each time. Okay. And you're ending at the bottom. And you just work your way down until you think it's happy. Now this one curves, so it's going to look a little different, right? But I'm doing exactly the same thing. This one's bigger. So that's going to make my petals look different. But it's exactly the same line by line phenomena. This one's going to be tiny. This fluish is going to be an itty bitty little fluish. Okay? The last thing you do with fluish is now you got to close this side up. So you come down from here and go across. And you come down and go across. And you just keep working your way in. It's that simple. just like all these. And as you can tell, you can go either way. Bluish. All right, those are your big guys. See, they aren't bad, right?
Nice.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you some tangulations. For instance, in a shoe, I'm going to decide 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to take 2 of these and I'm going to fill them in, but I'm going to leave a sparkle. Just like I did here. I just didn't finish it. All right, but you see how it changes it?
Yeah.
And all I did was fill in 2 of the strands. And now it's got a whole bunch of drama involved that it didn't have just with its regular open, right?
Right.
I'm going a little fast here, so forgive my unequal. Here, when I only have 3 strands, I'm going to pick my middle one. And that's the one I'm going to fill in and sparkle. Okay, you already know about the tangulation on spyless because I put in some line work, just a little bit of line weight. That's too much line weight, but you get the idea, which kind of changes its look. Some people actually put stripes in fluish, where on every other little petal,
Oh, that's kind of neat.
okay, just tangulations, things you can do to make it look a little different. See, now it kind of looks even more shell-like, doesn't it?
Yes.
So my goal was, right, summer by the sea. So there's your biggies. Right, you ready? Now you need the fillers because the sea is more than just 3 biggies. So here's where we did just a whole bunch of little stuff. Just little things. Furby. You just go up, curlicue, up, curlicue, make it look like an umbrella, and throw in some lines. Furby. Festoon is one of my faves. Center, you do a circle around it. And then you just do these cute little curved lines with a little ball at the end. Right?
Yes.
Not hard. Same thing on urchin. You just do one of those little twirly-doos. You put a circle around the outside, and you do little lines with little balls on the end. Do you need me to show you? So you go like this, right? And then you just go round. You just do your little curved lines. The thing about tangles and sea themes is we do a lot of lines and curves. I'm not doing very well, but you get the gist. The urchin is just a twirly cue, and you pretend there's a circle and a dot in the center, and you just go out from it so that you kind of figure that you're putting your lines in the same direction. But it's just lines sticking out from your curly cue. That's it. We've done Indirella, haven't we, before?
Yes.
Yes.
So here's Indirella, which is just the cute, big, huge eyeball. I call it an eyeball because this looks like a little fish to me. And you go larger. And then you come back smaller. And then you go real tiny. And then you do little dots. Indirella. Just fillers, guys. Does is just a bunch of circles. You start with a circle and then you put circles around you, aura that circle. And then you do another one and you go as close as you can and then you aura all the way around. I'll show you some examples of how to use these in a second and they might make more sense. Quabog I love because it's so simple. And I do it with the little nail head on top, but you can do it without that and just make it straight. You can do it more wiggly, whatever you like. And all it is just keeping going. That's as simple as it gets. Did I do them all? Oh, Arium. Arium is just squiggly lines. Exactly what it looks like. You start with an S, and then you do S's off from that. And then you come down this way and do S's again. Hiroko Matsuru did this one, and she said she modeled it after seaweed. That's all. No more. Okay, now you want to know what the hell you're supposed to do with all this? Is that what you're thinking?
Yes.
Okay, I understand. I get it. So let me show you. This was my first one. Okay, so let me show you. It's not no secrets. Well, there's one little secret here, but spyless. Okay, a big spyless, right? Enshu, Enishu, just like we did it. I just drew it upside down because that's how I draw, but same deal. I just wanted it to go up like it's floating up in the water. Furby. Okay, just what we did. Okay, this is just tipple. You know me and tipple. This is just flux, filling in with a little flux. Now this one I did not teach you. This is Eophir. If you're dying for Eophir, I can show you, but I didn't add that one to the mix. This is Arium. And I thought it was kind of boring. So I inked in all around it so that I would have more drama.
Very nice.
I'm sorry?
Very nice.
Oh, thank you. This is, oh, Hal spells. What was the name of it? Festoon. I stuck in 4 festoons. And then around the festoons, I just did says. All simple tangles. And then I just inked in the very bottom so it looks like, I don't know what. I wanted some contrast. All right, are you ready?
Yep.
Here's the second one. And I didn't do any cheating. I didn't do, Eophir was kind of cheating on my part. No cheating on this one. Okay, I did spilus, whatever the hell it's called, spilus. And then I thought, well, what would happen if I did 2 more spilus? So I just did 2 underneath them. Fluish, next to each other, facing. Furby, issue. And then I did quabog. When they do quabog with, say that better, Peggy. When Zentangle HQ, particularly Maria, does quabog, they like to have it face each other. I would have preferred if I had not done that, but that's what I did. And when they have it face each other, they overlap it a little more than I did. But those are all, simple, not complicated. We just went through them. So this is the one I did during class. Okay. I did 2 issues, shoes, whatever. Oh, I can't even remember the names of the damn things. So all I did was 2 instead of 1. I did my same spilus. I did 2 more. Now you'll notice every time you do this, it's different, right? These are tiny spilus. I don't know why I made them tiny. That's the way my hands went. Fluish. I flipped them and then I put another one on top. But I had all this space and I went, what am I going to do? So I did the tipple like I did here. But here I didn't like this. What was I going to do with this? So I just did a little more tipple and then I did loose tipple. I don't even know what that's not a real thing. Then I did tipple not real close together and let it just come out. And this is the one. Oh, and here I did Indirella with my little fishies, and then a teeny tiny little bit of quabog. And that's the one I'm gonna shade and highlight. Okay, now I would like to know, so this is kind of like my process. So what I've done is, in essence, I've given you don't have to use Eofor, you can use Fluish over here, okay? But these are kind of like 3 strings that you can choose. So I started this tile with spilus, and spilus became my string, right? So everything above was one area and below another. So spilus was my string. And then I thought of these 2 sections, right? What do I want in there? And then this one. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, some of you worked on this last week and over the week, right? Let me say that better. How many of you are starting on or moving forward on your tiles using these tangles?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to show us?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. I'll start with Joanne and then I'll do Mimi.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Ah.
Yay.
Oh, very nice.
Yes. Yeah.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Good.
I did this is the one I started in class.
Oh,
Lovely.
I kind of like better, but
Yeah, I
I
hear you.
need this.
You never know.
Yeah.
I know. You never know which one you're going to like how it comes out the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Later, I'll show you something I did that I hated and what I did to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Mimi.
This was last week, I think.
yep.
Yes, I remember.
And then the week before, I did another one.
Oh, yeah, we're going to get back to that. Oh, that's cool.
And then I just started one when you were talking, I just
Oh,
started.
nice.
to
It's gonna be pretty.
That's neat. That's neat, Mimi. I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Fluish.
What I should have done.
All right, Susan, I'm coming. Susan Michelson. Oh, cool.
No, nice.
That's great.
Oh, neat.
I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very nice.
Ready for shading. All right.
yeah.
Anybody else?
I have one,
I won.
Cool.
but it's only in my scrapbook, so.
That's all right. We'll do Janet and then I'll do Mike. Okay.
Very
Oh,
nice.
neat.
Ooh.
Hold it up just a smidge, Janet.
Oh, sorry.
There we go. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Cool beans.
Thank you.
And Mike.
Okay, I got mine. I got through with. I got through with mine.
I like that.
Nice.
Neat. Wow.
I did all the fillers that we talked about. So,
Mhm.
Okay.
and I just noticed in my book we did. It was introduced any shoe. We did April 5th of 2024. Now I
Well,
didn't,
there you go.
but I just noticed in my book that we did that in April of 24. It was
I don't even remember that. Was that, let me think. Was that Hillary?
yes. Mhm.
I thought so. Okay.
Yes, it would have been her. Yes.
That's
We did,
awesome.
we did do a sea thing back then. That's where I
Yes.
went back to look for the
Yeah.
fish that we
Yep.
had.
Yes.
We did. You're
Mm.
right. We did do a C thing. Okay. So talk to me. Do you
Mhm.
want to work on tangles a bit and then I'll show you shading? Do you want me to go right to shading?
I'm ready to shade.
Go to shading.
Okay,
Well,
that's what I'll do. Doesn't mean you can't also work on your tangles. Okay. Which one you want to start with? I'm going to start with Spilus, okay? Because I personally think it's probably the most dramatic, but we'll see. So if you think about the way Spilus curves, I'm going to want to shade where it's supposed to kind of come under. Oops, be helpful if I showed my screen, wouldn't it? Oops. Oops. So initially, I'm going to want to just place some graphite, kind of the way it would curl. Now it's going to curl over your 3 lines, right? So I'm going to place graphite all around that little curl. But you notice I'm pointing at the curl, right? Just saying. Down here, I want the spilus to lift up from the tipple. So I'm going to do that same thing right underneath there, and then right underneath here. You with me?
Mhm.
under the
Yes.
spilus.
So it's underneath here and it's underneath here. And when you take your tortillon and you start, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to do circular motion, but not pull. Just set it in place. Okay? Just circle it around. Now you can see, I haven't done hardly anything, but just that much right there. And suddenly that little spiral feels like it's moving around, right? So all I'm doing is setting it in place because I want it to be the darkest right next to the line. I'm going to do the same thing here. Just setting it in place. Okay. Oops. Gotta be careful because I'm running into my issue. Now, I'm going to pull that graphite out a little because I don't want just a big, huge line, right? I want it to be more smooth, more gradual. But I still want it to be darkest right next to the line. So I'm just pulling it out a little. So now it feels like it's moving even more, doesn't it?
Mhm.
Same thing down into the tipple. I'm going to pull it down in there. That makes sense?
Mhm.
I'm going to do the same thing. I'm sorry these are so tiny, actually, because it's harder for me to show you. But I'm going to do the same thing all the way around this one, exactly like I did the other one. These two.
Note how Peggy is using her graphite on the side so she can lay a good dark bead on the line versus too far away.
Yep. And the other thing is I point the pencil at the line. And then I'm just going to do that same thing. It's going to be trickier. I hate our tortillas. They just go flat too easy.
Mhm.
There's something about they don't stay pointy very long.
No, they don't.
Okay, there we go. Let's try that. Then I'm just going to pull it out a little. Now here, because it's such a smaller spylus, I have to be careful how far I pull out because it will overtake the entire thing and my highlighting will not, I won't have any room for my highlighted areas because I've made it all gray.
It's one of the most difficult things is you're doing your tangles and then the shading is after you're done. But if you can give some forethought to how you're going to shade those teeny tiny things you're putting in there, you might make a different selection or give more space in between. But it only comes after practice. You've done tile after tile and you realize, no, I'm not giving myself enough real estate here.
And the other reality is you can do it. It's like the effect is still there for you. Now, part of the thing that makes this matter so much, I think, and why I like working, I'm learning about working on tan tiles or blue tiles. I'm working on a blue one over here too. Is because it is easier from my perspective to provide the highlight. Now, I'm going to go ahead on my spylus and I'm going to shade underneath those arid lines, right? Like here, this one kind of goes underneath. I don't know where it goes to, it just disappears. And then here, I'm going to want to shade because this, my little Indirellas, are kind of all down there in the sea. See the difference already?
Mhm.
Okay, the same thing down here. I'm going to want to shade because I want all those tipple to just kind of disappear down on the sea bottom. I don't want those to be emphasized, right? I want those to be, where's my other one? Accent. Okay, see what I mean?
Ah. Okay.
So I want those to kind of go behind or kind of fall down from a depth perspective. Same thing with that ocean below, right? Okay, does that make sense on the spylus from a shade perspective?
Mhm.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about highlight. So I watched a couple people do this, and what I realize is people do this differently, so bear with me. Basically, this is where your shadow is, and this is where your highlight is. Now it's going to look like I'm painting a stripe because I haven't used the tortillon yet. Yeah, I want to put some here too. I kind of like the tail part of this shell highlighted. Some of the people I've seen do this will give you shading under here. I like the shading underneath, not on top of the little tail, but everybody has their own thing. Now, when you're doing highlights, the biggest challenge is to keep a white tortillon because in about 5 seconds, they turn gray. So I don't want it to look like one line and another line, right? So I do want to, how do I blend it in? That's the word I was looking for. But I don't want that white highlight to disappear either. Is that making sense?
Mhm.
You guys are so good at giving feedback.
Thank
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
And there is the difference. And you can see this one based on these two. Now, because these are smaller, which goes back to Haunani's point, it's harder to keep the white and the graphite separate because it's easy in a smaller space to let them blend into each other. So all I got to do is just go back in a little, give that white a little more, blend it so it doesn't look so stripy. But you know, in the end, you blend it till it looks good to you. Then I saw one of the people I saw do this tangle. They took a jelly roll and they did kind of a, yeah, kind of a underlying stripe to make it even more dramatic. I don't know how I feel about that, but they did. But that's your diff. So now I'm going to go into my little guys. I don't know why I got into doing these so small the second time. I don't know. It's funny. Your pencil just kind of. Your pen goes the way your heart thinks it should. Right, wrong, or indifferent. That kind of makes sense in terms of how to shade spylus.
Yes.
That might be a little too much white for me, but it's whatever your heart, however it speaks to you. And if you go, oh, that seems a little white, well, no problem. Just take your graphite and push it in a little bit more.
The other thing you'll find is once you complete shading of the entire tile, if you
Yes.
weren't careful, your palm, the resting part of your palm, starts to smudge what you already laid down.
Yep,
So
that
the
too.
white may not be as white anymore.
Because you're wearing it.
Because you're wearing, or the other graphite. So just, either put something on your tile so that you're not dragging it with your
Right.
palm, or just recognize that it might look a little bit too much, but give it some time. Finish your tile and then decide.
Okay, so let me now, since I'm down here, I have a couple examples of how to shade Indirella. My Indirellas are, I guess I was in a small mode when I did this tile. I don't know. My Indirellas are a little small, so it's going to be tricky to show you. But what you do is on one side, typically the top, you lay a little graphite. You take that and you set it and then move it, right? And if you have done your little curved lines well, what happens is it starts to look curved. It starts to look like it's rolling over. Do you know what I mean? Probably not, but.
Cylindrical.
Yes, thank you. That's the word. Thank you, Anne. Was that Anne? Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And underneath that, you put a highlight. See the diff? I don't know. Let me see if I can zoom in a little on that. See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that it starts to look cylindrical. And if you do shading at the top and highlighting underneath, it starts to look like it's a regular little squiggly little fish. Now you can get as obsessive about this as you wish or not. Your call. Sometimes too, when you do enough of this, you've got some graphite left on your tortillon. And you can just keep going and it will be enough. Okay, you see how now all my little fish are more visible. And then I take, whoops, missed one. Missed one. Then I take my white chalk. I do my highlight. And again, you just want to smooth it so it doesn't look like a line. Blend it in a bit. That little fish. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I really like this. It's fun. Okay, come on now. I've lost my, I don't want that. Where are you? There it is. Okay. Okay. Now, what I do with Quabog, I'm going to give you graphite on the bottom. So it's kind of like I got the bottom of the sea here, so to speak. Then, where's my other one? It's kind of a better example. Then I'm going to take, I'm going to highlight the tops. And you can get as dramatic or not as you want. But see how different it looks? How much more fun? Looks like yeah, cool. This one I did both ends. And I just used graphite around. Okay. Should I just keep going, y'all? Everybody okay?
Mhm.
Okay.
And then Peggy, when you're done with the flourish, I'll show what I did with mine.
I'm sorry, say that again, hon.
When you're done shading the flourish, I'll show what I did with mine to point out.
Okay, cool. So everybody I saw who worked on this particular kind of combination of tangles, I mean, not everybody, anyway, it doesn't matter. The base of the Enishu, I used a jelly roll.
Laurie, are you here?
Because I didn't want a, how do I want to say this? Because I didn't think that the chalk was sufficient. I wanted it to be more dramatic. Whoops. There I went off. So what I'm going to have to do, I have to fix my line. There. Okay, so for me, I liked the Enna shoe where the base was a little more dramatic, but it's up to you. You could do it in just chalk. Now, I also did the tipple, remember? And I did both sides. Or at least I should have. You really do want that tipple to kind of just fade off.
That really makes it fade off.
Yes. And what I do sometimes, now I did not do that on this one, I don't think. I did not. Sometimes it's kind of fun if you just leave a little bit of highlight kind of down the middle.
That's
You know,
interesting.
kind of like sun catches through the water kind of effect. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Okay. Let me go back to my Enna shoe. The coolest part about this sparkle is that you go ahead and put white chalk in it. Because it is supposed to sparkle. At the base of the Enna shoe, where the lines come together, right? Typical shading rules, where all those lines come together, we lay down some graphite. And then you're going to set it. And then you're going to move it up. So the base of the Enna shoe I've also seen people add graphite at the top where the little flick typically is, where you've tethered all of your lines, because it just gives it a sense of moving around. I've seen lots of people do different things here. This was always good enough for me. I always felt like any more, you know, if you'd added any more to it, like put white other place, it's too much. In these, I added little bubbles, if you will. I haven't added any bubbles in here. I probably will because I've started that trend over here. So I'll probably go ahead and throw some bubbles in. Now let me talk about the bubbles. I did my fluish and I thought, I don't like the space. So how to fill the space, right? So I decided, well, just keep going with your tipple. But then when I got up here, I didn't want tipple that tight. So I started to pretend like it's like bubbles going off. And when I did that, I started taking my jelly roll and making some of them white and taking my other pen with putting some little dots in there. Okay, I realize I'm playing and this is not supposed to be representative, but it was just kind of fun to me to kind of think about what rocks in water look like. So I just played around, just so you know. Now, bluish. Typically, with Fluish, again, where all the lines come together, right? So you're gonna lay graphite where the lines come together, and then right in here where those lines come in. Make sense? So it's where all these lines come together, and then where all these lines come together. Now this is only the shadow part. Now, Nani, do you want to? I'm curious what you did. Let me just pull this out a little.
Sorry, I'll show what I did, how I treated it after you're
Okay.
done.
Okay, I gotcha.
I love everything you're doing right now. Everything.
Thank you. I appreciate that. This is not usually me, so.
Oh, it is you now, dearie.
So you can see, okay, that you get the curvy sense, okay, that those go under, and then this comes up. I went a little far up here, but that's all right. I'll make it up later. Now, what you do next really depends on whether you did any tangulations, okay? If you just kind of left it itself, I would highlight here, and then I would highlight here. If I were to do tangulations where I did stripes or whatever in the Fluish, then I would perhaps do it differently. Okay, now let me just do this.
That's a cool effect. Instead of doing the highlight in each petal, you do it as if it's shining. It's curvy.
Yes.
I like that. Same thing with what you did in the tipple. Instead of trying to highlight each individual tipple, you took it,
Yes.
gave it and the essence of highlighting.
I like that actually.
Yeah. You get stuck in your normal ways of doing things, and then it's kind of cool to see another way of it being applied.
So that gives you a sense. It's all the same shading of these tangles, right? Same shading of this tangle, same shading of my little quabog, whatever. Okay, it's just you set them up in a little different way. Because I highlighted this, how do I want to say this? Because I went ahead and inked in around the whatever the heck the name of this bloody thing is. Arium. I chose to just take the spots in the seaweed and use the white gel pen. And I didn't do anything else.
And it was nice that it got accentuated because you carried the black coloring down below.
Yes.
So it all tied it together.
Which I didn't know I was going to do until it was finished, just so you know.
Yeah, right. I mean, you got to step back, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, that. So talk to me, you guys, and how Nani's going to show what she did to Fluish.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. What I'd like to do is I took a different approach. I want to do real quick because I really want to spend the rest of the time for you guys asking us how could you finish your tile, etc. Okay, so I'm going to jump right to sharing.
Yep, there you go.
Oops. I'm probably still having this issue with the camera. Okay, let me try this. Okay. So I did it by mistake. I started using a dark blue, navy blue pen instead of the black. So I just went with it. What that caused me to have to do then is I couldn't use the graphite as,
Yep.
so I had to go to colored pencil to try and create the same differential between a dark and a lighter, kind of color. But basically followed the same thing as what Peggy was doing. So I'm just trying to get this to,
Point with your finger. It likes your finger.
We're going to have to get you a new camera, darling.
all right. So,
Oops.
Really? So I did the typical petals here, right?
Mhm.
I did
Right.
exactly what Peggy did. I did, however, because she pointed out to us that sometimes when you do the highlight, you need to have some kind of shading. So I went back into my bubbles and did a little bit of shading along with the highlight. On the tipple, I wanted to show you the difference between a little bit of shading on the tipple without the highlight and no shading, no highlight on this side. Yeah. I like the shading because it just gives it more roundness than just plain. But if I were to do what Peggy did, which was just highlight in the section, I
Yeah.
would just that way. So that I think works. The Quabog, I had trouble with it. I knew I wanted to use it, but I also knew I wanted dark down below. So that's how I did it, is I kept this darker edge
Yeah.
coming around and incorporating the Quabog. For the Indirelli, I chose to do the white just down the spine, the middle,
Yes.
but shaded on either side. And
Yep.
again, here I'm trying to make this recess, but since I don't have graphite, I can't use the tortillon, so I did the darker blue and then the lighter blue to kind of give it a simulation. So
Cool.
then I did not do anything to the bubbles in between because there's so much detail. At some point, you got to stop and not overwork your work. The other thing I did was, in one of Peggy's examples, she showed an aura around her.
Yes, I did.
And so I did the auras before I realized what it was I was going to do. And the reason why I do the auraing is it protects me
Yep.
from going over and
Yep.
gives me the space that I need to separate the sections in the tangles. So that's why I do the auraing.
And I
Okay.
did an aura on two and forgot to do, it wasn't intentional, forgot to do the aura on the one I did in class.
But you see, there is a different effect because when
Yep.
you don't put the aura,
Definitely.
the shading really can make it separate. When you put the aura, you just have less real estate to work with. So you
Yep.
got to be,
Yep.
okay? Now let's get to your guys. I'm going to stop sharing unless you have questions before I go. Okay. There we go. Back to you, Peggy.
Okay. All right. So talk to me. So we took 2 weeks on this baby. So what'd you think? Are you having fun with this?
Yes.
I had lots of fun.
Yeah.
Because I
Have a
wasn't.
lot of shading to do.
There is a lot of shading, but how much shading there is, Susan, actually depends on how you set up your design. You know what I mean? You
Yes.
can have a more open design that doesn't have as much tightness in it, and then your shading would be really, really different.
Mhm.
Shading is kind of an individual thing. I
It
have
is.
one student that says, I don't like shading. I like it just the way it is.
Yeah.
And there's the tentative shader, right? And then there's someone like Ani Oken who shades the crap out of everything.
Yes, she does indeed.
But she knows, she's very astute at her shading. She's very deliberate, and it really brings out the dimensional aspects of everything that she does. So,
But
If
she
you-
has a very distinct style. The minute you see a tile, you know when it's a neat oaken. You just know the minute you look at it because the heaviness of her shading is so distinctive. That would be the word I would use.
So Janet, you had a tile last week that you did on colored paper,
Yes,
and you wanted to know how to shade that one?
yes.
Yes, that's the ones that we started with your class 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, we're not, all right, we'll get to
No,
that.
no, we're going there. We're going there. If that's all right with everybody else, we'll take a look at that.
Yes.
Unless you have
please.
specific questions about the C.
I love the seed, Peggy. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this.
Those of you who weren't here last week and maybe are still trying to catch up with the tangles and do it, take the time to do the tile because I think you'll really enjoy it. And those tangles, I promise you, are not difficult tangles. And you can lay them out any the hell place you want. Start with that spilus across the center of your tile, and you can do just about anything you want with those tangles.
The video was excellent. That's how I got mine done.
Does anybody want to show their shading on that tile before we move to the other? Or ask questions about your shading or whatever the heck.
Let me ask a question because I added those little lines.
Do you
on-
want
on
to
the
show
fluish?
us? Yes, okay.
Okay. On the fluish, I liked those little lines.
Yes.
Uh-huh, yeah.
So I added them. Would you shade under each one of those lines? Or would that be too much?
Yeah, see, we're probably going to give you different answers because I would stay with the way I shaded fluish and I'd shade across the top so it feels curved
Okay,
because your lines are kind of curved.
yeah,
And so it stays with that curving kind of motion. I'm not sure that I would want to shade under each line because there's not enough real estate to make the distinction. Now, that's my opinion.
No, I agree. It would muddy it. I mean, you may
Yeah.
have
That's what I think too.
over the whole thing if you're going to do it that way, and it
Yeah.
doesn't accomplish.
also, on the
Your
spider,
Indirelli, by the way,
oh,
how you shaded your Indirelli.
Her Indirellis are wonderful because your curved lines are perfect.
Yeah.
thank you, thank you. I loved doing those little guys.
I know they are fun, aren't they?
On the spilus, you had a shading underneath, but I kind of want a little shading on the bottom to show the roundness.
Yep.
Yep, you can do that too.
Do
What
that.
I would say to you is I would shade more heavily around your curve so that there's more graphite and less white chalk
Yeah,
underneath the curve, the spiral, not underneath where it spirals. I'd probably do it a little heavier. That's just me. And I did see, Joanne, a lot of people went ahead and did use graphite on the bottom,
uh-huh.
not just underneath the spilus, but on the bottom of the spilus.
On the bottom of it, yeah.
Yeah, I
'Cause
saw it both
I'm-
ways.
I started with this little guy and I I did a little more shading
Yep.
on the bottom and I kind of like that. So yeah, I'll go with that. Okay.
Any more before I share? Okay.
It looks very dark.
So, ooh,
Mm,
let's see.
wow.
I kind of jammed myself up though, guys. So this is a classic shading, shade where it overlaps, shade where lines converge, and then highlight points, right? This was really classic. But I wanted to experiment with the white print on,
Mm.
and I think that jammed me up because once I committed it to it, I did not know how to make it go all the way around. I was going to switch to the floors, and that was not going to work in any color. So I went ahead and still did the two fillers, Poke-Root, Flux, and Fescue. And then I just couldn't salvage it any other way but to replicate the print on. So that's what I did. But once I did that, like when you do a gemstone, if you just do the gemstone, it doesn't really pop unless you put border around it to give it some dimension. So that's what I ended up doing. And
Well, was the actual tile tan?
yes, it's a tan tile. That's why I can take
Okay.
highlights so well.
Yeah, just like the
Right.
ones I used, Mary. We were working on tan this 2 weeks. Yep.
Uh-huh. Me too.
But so that's what I did. There wasn't anything unusual that I did that you guys haven't already done. I did not bring my highlight all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom. If you'll notice, I judiciously tried to just do it midway because you're getting into the shaded areas, the underneath, and use the white anyway. And this way, the contrast of the highlight here versus there makes that come up even more. Okay, now can we share what you guys have done? I'll stop sharing. Oops.
Well, can you look at the colored paper that I used and tell
Yes.
me?
Yeah. We're just trying
sharing.
to, she's just stopping sharing and then
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Okay. Janet, there you are. Hold on a second.
Right. So this was a paper that we
Ooh.
dyed a long time
Oh,
ago.
yes.
Yes.
You did great with the print on there. Oh,
Yeah.
that really brought it out. Okay, so what's your question about the shading?
I don't know how to shade it now. I don't.
Okay, so for me, this is classic shading, which is what you did on the Arucus.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that was successful. On the Mucas, on your other Huggins, again, just the bulb head, just bring that out. And
With dark, are you saying with charcoal?
With graphite, right?
Graphite.
Is
that what you're saying?
On the color tile, since the color is the background of it,
Uh-huh.
you're better off using graphite.
Okay.
And
So
then
on the Mucas, yes.
and still, because you got colored paper, you can still highlight a little bit with the white graphite chalk on your poke roots. Underneath, a little bit darker for the shading.
Right.
Okay.
And then you could highlight with the white chalk.
Yeah, every time one of your Huggins goes underneath another one, just that's where you want the graphite, like you did with the Arucus,
Okay.
but just do it with that. And you can
Right.
even use a little more. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, this is a charcoal
Yeah.
highlight,
Yeah,
just like
graphite.
anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be the
Okay.
charcoal and then the white chalk because
I
the
u-
white chalk will work great.
Yeah, I used, I think, a little right in
Yep.
here, but then it was
Yep.
like, well, I wasn't sure if I should make it heavy or because I didn't want to lose the green too
I know.
much.
That's why classic shading, you're just doing it for depth. You're not trying to color it. So
Okay.
that's what you achieved by the shading that you did on the Arucus. And you might want to shade on the outer edges of the Huggins to separate it from your background. Either to make it curvier itself or to separate it by shading the background around it. So
Okay.
either on the Huggins itself at the edges to curve it
Mhm.
or on the background.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Who else wants to talk about the 2 weeks ago?
Show.
on the Huggins,
That's
When-
the one, yes.
yeah, when you have this
Ooh.
overlay,
Yes,
going to shade along this line also, and then,
underneath. Yep, definitely underneath.
well, so this is underneath here.
Yes,
That's
that,
within
then-
Huggins,
This
right?
becomes underneath also, right?
Correct.
Okay,
But you separate it with the white edges, right? So that they're two distinct different strings, if you will. So shade within each string. So you definitely need your shading, is it cubine on your cubine?
yeah,
yeah,
Yeah. Definitely shade where it butts up against the other Huggins.
okay,
And even with your perk, you need to do the same thing. And you've got good curvature on the ends of your Huggins at the edges.
uh-huh,
I like how light you made the your background.
yeah, that, I didn't know what to do, and I had a gel pen, and I just, did that, whatever.
But that works. On your fluxes, you
Yeah.
had wondered if you should do all white or whatever, and I
Yeah.
noticed you toned it down. So where lines meet, which is where you cluster it right, and then it butts against your Huggins, that of course is your classic shading because lines converge, right?
Yeah, yeah, okay, so
tips.
there,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then at the tips, just like you did, you have one section where all three petals have a little bit of white, only
Yeah.
at the edges.
up there, yeah,
It doesn't have to be the whole petal, it can just be partial of the petal, whatever looks good to your eyes. But
But I-
that,
I saw on yours, and I think I will do, you added line weight to the top of that
yeah,
flux, and that was my problem. I felt like the flux was disappearing
yeah.
with the whatever that
Rounding,
little gel pen thing is. Yeah,
rounding and line weight works miracles. And the other thing I want to suggest to you all is once you're done shading and or coloring, and especially after highlighting, so when it's complete, go back over and reclaim your line work. Not every single line, but some of it gets washed out and then you lose the dimension of it. So take that little extra effort to reclaim your lines. And be careful with your palm, kind of over shading for you inadvertently.
yeah, yeah. And one last question. I did shade on the Shattuck, this line
Yeah.
down the middle.
Yes.
I should that be darker or just a touch?
I would not, because you don't have the real estate. You make that darker, you lose your other triangles.
right.
And with the triangles is where you can get that highlighting going on. I don't know if you noticed how I did mine, but you'll lose it. In fact, when I went to reclaim my lines, I did not draw each and every line. I went around the highlight that I laid down. So it gave it even more of a contrast.
Yes, that I will do. Yeah. That I can see. Okay, thank you.
So I thought I would show something I did before because we're getting close here. Is that okay? Does somebody else want to show? Mike, do you need to show?
We'd love to see your work.
Okay, the one we did the week before last, I did it on a tile that was white, so I didn't really have, I couldn't really shade it,
Ooh,
Oh, nice.
That's
But
cool.
Isn't that
but
beautiful?
I did shade, I picked this one as the top tile, so then I shaded these
underneath, sure.
underneath those.
So it wasn't that you couldn't shade, you couldn't highlight as well. Because the
Right.
one on white doesn't,
Yeah, right. I couldn't use the
But you did the
so-
shading.
but
Yeah.
I did the shading, so I don't know. I think it's done.
And I like
think
your
it's cool.
border. Your
Yeah.
border, excellent.
I love the border.
Thank you.
Mm.
And you notice how he did some rounding to tie his, I think it's your print-ons
Yes.
together.
Mhm.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
It
neat.
anchored them.
Thanks. Thanks.
I'd like to show because I worked on today's class.
Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. I gotcha.
Can you see it? It is,
Ooh, the flourish
Cool.
and the, what was that?
Pull it back a little bit.
Arium. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
I said, I'm going to be challenged to shade because somehow I wanted to aura everything. And so I said, oh my gosh.
But you know, do it. Just go with your gut. If you don't like it, you can make another one.
Yeah.
That's the only way we learn is, oops, maybe I shouldn't always do this.
Shouldn't have shaded the whole thing.
It
Well,
looks
you don't
great,
know.
Susan.
In this
Well-
time that you've had, that's great.
Good.
Anybody else?
It's you, Peggy.
Okay. Yay. I thought I would share. Hold on a minute. This is what happens when you hate what you do.
Oh,
So these three I hated. They were, oh, yeah, because they were terrible. So what I did is I inked them in. I said, I really don't like any of these three. My line work was terrible. I couldn't see. I was tired. I was crabby. So I just said to hell with it. And I just inked them all in. And then I said, okay, now what will you do with them? So I just went ahead and took the white jelly roll. This is a thing called Mirror, which I didn't do very well, but it's kind of cool. A cool tangle.
Yes.
And good old Printum and good old
All
Alaba. And then I just did the rest, and I wasn't as mad about the rest, so I went ahead.
I
But
love
I had fun with flux going up
Yeah.
through the center.
yeah.
So then I decided, well, what happens if I don't do it on tan? So now I'm playing around with blue. I don't really like the way these come out, but I do kind of like the idea of them coming out.
I love what you did
oh
there.
yeah.
And I did a little poke root sticking out, but I made a mistake. See, I want to show you guys that you can screw up and save it. So I made a mistake and I went over the line when I didn't want to. So I just put pearls in there. So I'm thinking I may put pearls on the edges.
Yes.
So
Nice.
they're all the same because I didn't like that.
I
You know,
like how you emphasize your muka heads by
Yeah.
coloring in the dark.
Yeah.
yeah, my mucus are not no, that's not my best mucus there. And these are kind of stringy, but I had fun. So I just thought I would show you that even when you don't necessarily like the way you do it when you start, you can change it. Ta-da.
Now, granted, Peggy and I probably have more supplies than what we deserve. So we get really a chance to play. But
Yes.
Heritage Village people, if you need more supplies, talk to me, please.
Mimi, are you trying to show something, baby?
Oh, I can. I did a new one.
That's what I thought was happening up there.
Oh, sweetheart. Oh,
Yeah, see, I love the way you
Beautiful.
did the fluish. That is awesome.
That is neat.
And this is
Yep.
one I worked on the
Wow. That
some
is
work.
Wow.
nice.
And then I worked a little bit shading on that one.
Wow.
Cool.
Green.
Nice.
Awesome.
Beautiful.
Fun.
Okay, guys, anybody else? Questions? Comments?
I started the C one. So
You want to show Gwen?
sure, it's just very brief and it's just started, but I'll show it to you.
No, that's
Oh,
awesome.
Oh, terrific.
Love it.
I don't know what to put in the top though, in between all those things. So gotta decide that.
It'll come to you.
More bubbles. Yeah.
Bubbles.
That's great.
or those little round guys.
Urchins.
And just urchins.
Yeah,
They
the
can just
urchins
kind
or
of
the
float up.
festoon would work. Yeah.
Look at us giving you suggestions.
Okay.
Anyway, what can we say? Okay.
Guys, thank you so much for hanging in with us.
Oh,
We're
thank you.
It's great.
We're having fun, so we hope you are too.
See you next week. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.